Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Duck Adventure for May the 12th. I'm a little bit behind. Well, not. I'm actually early. I'm going out right now to let the ducks out. It's 9:30. I've got my edit done for tonight. Actually, I did it last night. It's uploading. I woke up with an idea, and I've been working on it for basically the last 2 hours. The epic duck rush video that I so desperately need you guys to watch and share. I just translated it into 44 languages on YouTube for their World Wide Web here, and I just found a glitch that because of some kind of scripting issue on the YouTube page, I can't go over 44. The page won't let me do the drop-down menu. The drop-down menu goes below my screen, and I cannot get it to work. there's a problem on the interface here on the internet, but so I'm going to stop. I translated it into 44, the title into 44 languages with Google Translate. It does help. I've done this before, and I've gotten comments from some of my fans asking me why the title is in their language. So it's going to be interesting. I think the Duck Rush video is destined for big things. I think it's going to be bigger than the 171 ducklings in a kiddie pool. But I'm going to go and let the ducks out right now. We're going to do egg recon, and I'm going out to the garage to get the Argo done because I'm done my computer work. I'm going to go spend this beautiful day. It's going to be a high of something like 26 or 27 today. Lots of black fly action, and we're going to get the Argo happening. Today's the day, guys. So let's go to the duck pen, let the ducks out, do egg recon, and go to the garage. Let's let the ducks out, Doug. It's a beautiful morning. Oh, chipmunk! Look at him go. That woke him up. You're slow though, dog. Our chipmunk problem has returned, guys. I'll be doing a little bit of smoking on them here because those guys are the worst. You know, squirrels stay away from the house. You know, they stay in the bush. Actually, they never come near the house, like ever. Chipmunk, though, for some reason, you know, they can't stay in the bush. They gotta come to the house and, you know, dig under the deck and destroy the footings, and it's like, they're nasty creatures. Oh, I thought it was a big hawk. It's not. Okay, let's let the ducks out. I got my breakfast cooking right now. I'm a little bit behind because I got a little sidetracked. Got a couple people really interested in my Mandarin duck interest. I put an ad online to see if there's any local breeders, and I went on to the Kijiji here in Canada, and it turns out there's somebody down by Hamilton that's a breeder. And I just emailed them to find out what the deal is. They sell Skipper's coming out. Look at this. He's coming out with the flock, guys. Come on out, stripper. I'm in your way? Okay, I'll step back. Come on out, girl. That's pretty alright. She wants to come out with the flock. Right on. That's so good to see. She must be getting stronger. Actually, she's walking pretty good, guys, you know, for a peg-leg duck. I'm actually quite impressed here. Look at her go. And she goes over by her logs. Oh, no, she's going to have some corn this morning. All right, what's going on over here? Oh, there's Disco. Oh, her limp's still pretty bad, though, but she's got no swelling in that foot, guys. Okay, look at her pick up speed here. Like, there's no swelling at all. And if there was anything wrong with her foot, it would swell up. That's one thing about ducks. Their feet swell right up when there's something wrong. But look at her go. Now she's just got a slight limp. I think she hurt her hip. I think it's a hip injury. Oh, Dougie, right in the way. Thank you. Okay, look at Stripper. Right underneath the log. Well, at least she's coming out of the pen, living her life. Yeah, so I put an ad on Kijiji, which is like Craigslist up here in Canada. And I put an ad for wood ducks and mandarin because, you know, the wood ducks are just as pretty as the mandarin. Well, the mandarin are actually more prettier, but, you know, they're still beautiful ducks. Now, the thing is, guys, if we're going to do this, if it does happen, I want everybody to realize this, that the geese have to go. The only goose that we can keep here is Goose Lee, because he's the only one that is actually, you know, the most tolerant when it comes to the ducks. He does nothing ever to the ducks. Like, he's Mr., you know, he's a gentleman. Goose Lee is a real gentleman, actually. But the Emdens, I'm going to have to give them to my neighbor. I'll just give them all to him. And just let him deal with that gray goose, the aggressive one. But we can't have geese here with, you know, those little tiny ducks. You know, that's just the bottom line. I'm not going to do that. Wouldn't be responsible of me, especially doing the winter. You know, wintering the ducks. You know, especially they're so small. They're so freaking. I went on YouTube to look to see some videos because I've only ever seen, you know, still pictures. Man, they are going to make some. If it happens, you know, because there's one job. There's one thing that has to happen before that is the pen. And today I'm getting the Argo done. I'm going, actually, as soon as I eat my breakfast here, I'm done everything on the computer. I worked late last night doing the edit, so I'm a little bit ahead right now. So I'm going into the garage. We're going to get the Argo done, get the swamp done. I got to return the Argo to my buddy. And then I've got to run my sewer line, but that's a one-day job. And then we're going to attack the pen as far as figuring out what it's going to cost, because the pen has to happen first, guys. You know, as much as I would love a really cute little mandarin ducks and, you know, some really, you know, some nice color to add to the show, the pen has to be done first. It has to. The pen, one, is on the verge of falling down, so we have to, you know, it has to be repaired, and you know, and it really should be made bigger. So I'm going to go and have my breakfast, and then we'll come back later, do a recon, and get in the garage and do the Argo. This is bizarre, guys. The geese were sleeping by the house. And there's Stripper. She's over here with the geese. I think Stripper's getting stronger, and that's why she's traveling more around the yard. There's hope for the girl. Alright, let's do a recon. Poor Doug is just getting tormented by this black squirrel big time. Are the ducks ever quiet? Oh, there's Disco limping around. She had to have hurt her hip. I've tried to corner her a couple times, guys. I've had an opportunity to get her, you know, in an area. Oh man, she is smart. She has deked me out twice. And the thing is that I don't want to get rough with her and make her injury worse. So it's like I'm trying to get her in a corner that I can, you know, grab her without having her go, you know, flailing all over the place, because she's really aggressive, and it's not for her. You know, she actually it would hurt her more by me, you know, getting aggressive to catch her. I've got to trick her. That's what I've got to do. Alright, let's do a recon and get on with the Argo today. It's black fly season too. Oh man, they're absolutely everywhere. You have to wear a hat. If you don't wear a hat, it's brutal, because they're crawling all over your head. And it's so nice out, I'd actually like to not wear a hat because it's not really hot. Okay, I hear a duck behind me. Oh, Muscovy. Doug's making her move. Alright. Oh! Doug! Oh, that made her move. Oh, Dougie. Alright. I don't think she'll be coming back in here. Alright. Man, the nest that she's building. No eggs there. Doug. He's so funny when he talks to them. It's like, you know, he wants to smell them and talk to them. Oh. Doug, what are you doing?
Doug, you're just freaking them right out, eh? Calm down, dog. What are you doing, Doug? You just want to smell them. That's all you want to do. Doug, you're not supposed to be playing with them. You're just freaking the ducks out this morning there, dog. Poor ducks get all worked up. And all he wants to do is smell them. Okay, let's get back to Egg Recon. Doug's totally taking the show there on another tangent. Alright. And it's so funny because he does that, you know, where he gets that stance in front of the ducks and he tries to stop them from passing. And it's like, you know, he doesn't, you know, try to grab them with his mouth. He doesn't try to, you know, paw them. He just sort of, it's almost like he's a goaltender in hockey, you know, when he's trying to stop, or a soccer, actually like a soccer player, you know, in hockey, or in soccer, in hockey, a soccer player, a goalie in soccer. There you go. I'll get it straight. And it's like they try to deke him out, so he tries to stop them, and then that freaks the ducks right out. Okay. There we go. Some good looking eggs. Ice cold eggs. Those ones are warm, these ones are ice cold. Alright, that's in the barn. So let's go into the shed. I'm going to close this because it seems that a tack duck sneaks back into the barn if I don't do that. All the ducks have left this side of the property. They don't want Doug to smell them. Okay, this little girl's back in her corner. Two Muscovies. I'm shocked that we're not getting more Muscovies on the second layer, because it seems that they're scattering them all over the place. Oh, here comes Doug. Doug. He's like, I want to just smell you. But they leave quick. No screwing around, eh, Doug? We're really into the Egg Recon this morning. Yeah, so I did my edit last night. I was supposed to go in the garage. I know I ended last night's episode saying that I was going to go into the garage and work on the Argo, but I said to myself, well, you know, it's the end of the day. And I thought, well, you know, getting oily, greasy hands and, you know, then cooking supper and doing my dishes. And I thought, well, I'm going to have supper, do my dishes, finish my edit for tonight, last night, and then today I don't have to screw around, and I can just go straight to the Argo situation, which so far it's working out that way. Except I got a little sidetracked this morning translating that video into 46 or 41 languages on YouTube. Because YouTube offers that service if you want to take the time to do it. Well, still lots of feed, because they're really promoting translating videos, because I didn't realize this, guys, but to give you an idea, 80% of the viewing on YouTube is actually now done outside of North America. She's down at the lake already, or the creek, guys. There she is. Oh, I wish I had the big camera to zoom in for you. She's just taking a drink right now. I can hear her quacking. She's upset. Go straight to the creek. When she walks, she's got that lot of the sort of like stiff legs, and she bounces back and forth. Oh, there's a Canada goose right beside her. Oh, Canada goose is even turning away from her. That's pretty bad when a Canada goose stays away. Okay, there's 3 Canada geese down there and upset duck. I can't believe how loud she is. I don't know if the mic picked it up, but the only quacking sound that's in the yard right now is her down at the creek. Yeah, so back to the translating thing. I read this a long time ago, actually it was last year, about YouTube released the stats on 80% of all the videos watched now on YouTube are actually done outside of North America. So they rolled out this big translating thing. So I figured since that video is such an epic video, and it has, you know, a good potential in doing some serious numbers on views, I thought I'd translate it. So I got a little sidetracked. Yes, Doug. I ended up spending. It took longer than I thought because the user interface that YouTube has for doing translating in the browser sucks. Sucks really bad, actually. I applied for the tool that you can upload using a Microsoft file, like a CSV file, and you know, upload it on a flat interface to YouTube, but I haven't got approved because my channel's too small to get an account manager to allow me access to the tool. Because I was planning on doing that this winter. Yeah, I found out about it this winter, the tool, and I applied through YouTube, and they finally got back to me after 3 months of emails back and forth, and I found out that I needed an account manager to get approval to have access to the special page on YouTube within my channel, so that I could get this you know, bulk tool, which, you know, would mean I would basically translate everything in a spreadsheet in a cell form and then upload it in a flat file, and but I never got approved. My channel is too small, guys, to get a human helping me at YouTube. So I'm forced to use this browser interface for doing translating, and it just sucks. Like, I'm not kidding you, like, I think it took me almost 3 hours to do 46 translations this morning on a title. I didn't even do the description, that was just the title. It'd be so much nicer if I could do it, you know, in a spreadsheet and then upload it, because I really would love to translate my whole channel. Just the fact that, you know, 80% now of all video views on YouTube occur outside of North America. And ducks, you know, they have a pretty good international appeal. A duck's a duck, you know, and cute's cute, no matter what language you're in. She's coming back. Look how fast she goes. She just hauls. Now I noticed since I threw her down into the lake that she's been going to the creek on her own. So I don't know, maybe I started something with her. She's so funny. She's got to be one of the loudest ducks here on the property. I got 3 big Canada geese down at the creek. All right, let's go get the Argo happening, guys, because we got sort of good news. Serious rain the next 3 days is coming. Today is the last of the nice days. So serious rain means the swamp gets flooded. And if the swamp gets flooded, like I'm hoping, I hope the whole thing's flooded, like completely flooded, because if it is, the Argo will pack it down absolutely perfect. Because not only will the dry bulrushes that are sticking up out of the ground, the ones that are, you know, right now that are vertical, they'll be soaking wet from the rain. So when they get busted over into water, they're flat. It'll be totally flat. Well, it'll be like almost one pass by, swamp will be flat. So let's get the Argo happening so we can do it. Oh, gotta put the eggs away, they're in the sun. Okay, I'm gonna put the camera in the garage. I'll go back and do the eggs and put them in the house. And we'll become mechanic day here. And deal with black flies coming into the garage, eating me. The one thing that drives me nuts, guys, I'm back at the deck. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit distracted here. I got to give the ducks some fresh water in the yard. But the only place that I have weeds in my yard is behind the grid. I don't believe how hard the ground is, guys. It is unbelievably hard. It's like cement, guys. We need some serious rain. Like, look how dry that is. There's no moisture on the top of the soil. I know my little tool here, normally I can just push it right into the ground. It's the only way to get out. If you don't get the taproot out, they just grow right back. Oh, I hate yellow flowers in my lawn. I used to be really bad and spray my yard many years ago. Oh God, over a decade. And then I found out how bad it was. Actually, I found out how bad it was for snakes and frogs. And when I stopped, man, holy moly, did I ever get a lot of snakes and frogs come back to my yard. That stuff, that cosmetic weed killer is so bad for the environment. And the best thing I ever did to get rid of weeds was ducks. Because if you look out there, there's no yellow. Dandelions don't stand a chance here. As soon as they come up, the ducks are eating them. Actually, if you look at my lawn, guys, there's no weeds at all. Like, absolutely nothing. On this side, though, where there's no ducks, I got weeds all through. Like, if I let some ducks in here, they'd clean this right up. Got a whole bunch of clover right here. Big patch of clover right here. If it wasn't for the duck poop, I'd let the ducks in here. But I need some place where it's safe for me to walk and safe for Doug to lay. I just can't believe how hard the ground is. Yeah, it's just weed fest on this side. I gotta do what I came out to do, and that was freshen the ducks' water up before I get into the Argo situation. They're not even interested in the weeds I pulled for them. What a freaking beautiful day though. Oh, I'm actually overheating. If I wasn't going in the garage to work, guys, I'd be putting shorts on. But it's really cool in the garage. Plus, I'm gonna get all greasy, and I'd rather be wearing pants doing mechanic work anyways. The geese are all down at the creek, guys. They left us. They're hanging down. Actually, there's a whole bunch of them hanging around with the Canada geese. I've got to remember next trip to town to grab some 4-foot kiddie pools, because I'm thinking the 2 that aren't leaking are soon to start leaking. This would be, I think, this will be the 3rd year for them, so I can't see them lasting. They're getting brittle. And the more I handle them, the more kinks they're getting in them. Okay, where'd Stripper go? She was around here just a second. I saw her. Where she disappeared to? She'll probably go over there in the bush. I think I see her underneath the trees over there. Alright, let's go to the garage and become mechanics. The plan of action here is the next time you see this motor, it will be running with a carb job done and the cooling housing back on it. And then we'll take it for a rip and we'll see if it overheats. And we'll see if I have to go back to the drawing board. I got her done. It was coated inside with yellow gunge, with the ethanol gasoline. It actually had the color of corn inside, because that's what they use, is corn for the ethanol. The whole inside was just coated in yellow. So I've got it cleaned, jets put in, new float, all that kind of neat carb stuff. And let's just see if she fires up. I haven't set the carb up yet. I've got it, factory adjusted, but I haven't fine-tuned it yet. But it definitely had lots of gunge, like yellow. The whole thing was coated in yellow inside. Sorry I didn't turn the camera on, guys, but I had the tunes going on here in the garage and with YouTube and tunes. If I had tunes playing, I wouldn't be able to put commercials on the video, and then I would get flagged for copyright, and I just don't need the grief. That's why you never hear music on this channel. Okay, so the carb's got no gas in it at all right now, so she's going to take a little turning over to get some gas into her. Well, she starts. Okay, so before I get it red hot, I'm going to get the cooling shroud on it. And then we'll fire it up and get it warmed up and try to set the carb up. Because you can't set the carb up till the motor's warm. My poor buddy's Argo. I went to put the cool air duct on, and it goes in here and it bolts onto this piece of metal right here. Well, somebody, he told me that somebody borrowed his machine, one of his buddies. I guess they walked on the hood of the machine here, and they busted all the rivets. So there was nothing holding the metal bar. It was just hanging there. So when I went to put the air duct in, it wouldn't bolt in. Nothing lined up, and I couldn't figure out why. And I got looking, and every rivet was busted. So I put some bolts in, lock washer on the side. She's solid again now. And I've noticed on this side it's busted too. So I'll throw a couple bolts in there. Man, you know, when you're nice enough to lend somebody an expensive piece of equipment like this, you think they would be, you know, they would fix it when they break it. Some people just don't care. I actually was on the internet, guys, looking at what these things are worth new. I am blown away. Well, I found used ones for $20,000. I just can't believe they're that much money. It blows me away, actually. 20 grand for, I think it was a 2013. New, I think they're like 30. 28. It's just nuts what they're worth new. Alright, I'm getting closer. But I had to do a little bit of body repair. My buddy is going to be so happy when he gets this back. What a lot of screwing around, but it's in there. He gave me a whole bunch of extra nuts and bolts. I don't know what they're for, but that's exactly the way it's supposed to be. So what happens is, this is the cooling air that it sucks in, and I think it was sucking air from the motor cavity, which was too warm, and that's why it was overheating. Well, one of the reasons. Compounded with it was burning too lean. So now I'm going to get it running. I'm going to take it out here in the driveway. We're going to let it just warm up and basically get it nice and warm, and then I'm going to screw with the carb and get the settings, and hopefully this is it. I'm 99% sure, because of the fact that the inside of the carburetor was yellow, like completely coated in yellow sludge. So that means all the needles, you know, the floats, everything was sticking, you know, basically alcohol decomposing, you know, from the ethanol. All right, well, let's get this happening. Well, it's been an hour and a half of me screwing around here with the carb. It seems to be running now. I've got it running, well, it's been running for an hour and a half, me screwing with it. Carburetor manual, you know, I always get a kick out of these manuals, you know, when they say the factory presets and then go from there. Well, according to the factory preset, it says 2.5 out, 2.5 turns out for the main jet, 1 turn out for the idling jet. Well, the only way you can keep the idle going is almost 3 turns out, and the main jet is 2 turns. It's like the manual, same thing with my lawn tractor. It's exactly the same thing, you know, the old motors. You know, maybe when they're brand new, the factory, you know, preset works, but not when they're 20 years old. I'm going to throw the air cleaner on it. I'm going to throw my rubber boots on, and we're going to go down in the swamp. I'm not going to set any camera action up because I have no idea what's going to happen. I'll take the pivot heads, though, just to, so if I fail, I'll give you a shot. Dougie, are you having a dust bath? He's been rolling. I was just putting my rubber boots on so we can go see if the Argo's going to do anything. It ran for over an hour and a half screwing with the carb, so it should go. Like I can't see why it would stop running in the swamp, but I got the rubber boots on just in case. All right, the moment of truth, guys. Oh, well, I made it this far. You know, I had this problem with my lawn tractor. Adjusting the carburetor without the air cleaner on, it didn't work. But there is no way of adjusting this carburetor without the air cleaner off of it. I don't believe this. I'm not having much luck here. Well, I guess a positive way of looking at this would be it's close to my toolbox. I went and got the tools. Take the cleaner off it, air cleaner off. And it's just hour and a half. I had it running perfect. Absolutely perfect, actually. Started, idled, revved. As soon as I put the air cleaner on it, move it, it dies. I'm a little frustrated. It doesn't make any sense at all. And we've got a perfect wet weekend coming up. I've got to get it running. It's got to be something minor. Like, I know the carb was filthy inside, gummed up, yellow. You know, it was just full of gunk, coatings, so it had to be sticky inside. But the adjustment screw, guys, is like right there. Like, there's just no way to get at it without taking the air cleaner off. Well, I'll get back to you later. I'll do some more struggling here. Well, I don't know. I just took the plugs out of it. The weakest spark I've ever seen. Like, it's just an absolute terrible spark. And the plugs are completely fouled up. It's almost like, you know, when I had it in the driveway here for the, you know, an hour and a half, it was no problem. But as soon as I started moving it, that's when it started, you know, missing and shooting and, you know, that kind of stuff. I don't know. But I drove it around the yard when I was doing the test without the air cleaner on, and it worked. Unless it's something to do with heat, coil, I don't know. I'm frustrated. I'm going to go to town and get another set of spark plugs just in case, because I did have this once before. Actually, with my lawn tractor, I hit a defective spark plugs, and I ended up thinking I had to do a motor job, tore the whole motor apart, and found out there was nothing wrong with my lawn tractor. Absolutely nothing. Had the motor completely to pieces, pistons out of it, and then put it back together and found out it was a cracked spark plug. And I had tried 2 spark plugs, and they were both defective. So it's like, you know, I'm going to go buy some spark plugs. We'll see what happens. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't waste much more time on this. Oh man, I'm telling you, renting one for $250 to get the whole swamp done, starting to look like a good idea. I don't believe I've wasted this much time on this. It's like there's something ailing it. I don't know. Anyways, I gotta go to town, get spark plugs, and we'll see if I can get this thing fired up tonight. Yes, Doug, we're gonna go on probably a futile trip to town to get spark plugs. I gotta remember to put the rifle away. Put my dry walkers on to walk through the house. Yes, Doug. We're gonna go for probably a futile trip to town to get something that's gonna make no difference. But better to have tried and failed than not tried at all, I guess. I just don't believe it though. You know, because the carb was so gummed up inside and yellow, and thought for sure, you know, it's gotta be something else that's going wrong with it. And the thing is that this is the answer to get rid of the hiding spots for the predators. Because if the bulrushes are packed down, even with the new growth coming up, it's so thin that nothing can hide in it. Like right now, you know, they can hide in that stuff so easy and grab a duck. I gotta get this. I'm sick of predators taking my ducks. I gotta get this happening. I hope it's not a waste of time, but I'm thinking it is. I think the problem's bigger than that. Oh, the black squirrel, Doug. Oh, but he's starting to figure out the squirrel going up the tree. You notice when he ran, he didn't run in a full stride. He's figuring it out that it's futile. once the critter goes up the tree. But right now he's looking up the wrong tree because the squirrel jumped across. Oh no, there is one up that tree. Oh, we got 2 black squirrels here. I've never seen 2 of them at once here. It's always just one. Oh, Dougie knew. I didn't. Alright guys, let's see if it'll start. Get it back into the garage. I'm frustrated. Man, it's like it's totally dead. It's like nothing. And the black flies are just out in full force right now too. Like full force. Holy moly, there's lots of them right here. Which is very unusual in the sun. Well, let's try the new plugs. Alright, new plugs. This is bizarre. This makes no sense, guys, because I'm not kidding you. Like, I fiddled with that carb and got it running perfect. Like, well, at least an hour and a half. At least an hour and a half in the driveway. I got it running absolutely perfect. Why would it just die? Well, let's see if there's fuel. In theory, when I go to start this, gasoline should pump out of that hose. That is some pretty pathetic fuel flow. And that's the fuel pump right there. I wonder if there's something wrong with the fuel pump. It should pump more gas than that out. And that's the fuel filter, and it's clear as a bell. It's got to be the fuel pump. I don't know how much gas that little pump is supposed to pump. It sure doesn't seem like much. Something told me to try a backyard mechanic trick because I think it's not getting fuel, guys. So I've gone to get carburetor cleaner. We've got a fuel problem. I think the fuel pump, when it gets hot, the diaphragm inside is not pumping enough pressure. I think that's what the problem is. The fact that it started like that as soon as I gave it a little bit of blast. And the one thing I gotta stop working, the black flies are freaking crazy. It's that time of night. I'm getting eaten alive here. So I'm going to try to back this up into the garage and take a look at the fuel pump tomorrow. I got to go edit tomorrow night's episode. Well, I'm going to try to edit tomorrow night's episode. I've got it at my computer ready to go right now. We've got a fuel problem. Doug's waiting for the black squirrels to come back. I got back in the garage and all the way across the yard. I put it in reverse and I just drove it back in reverse, and it was surging like it's not getting fuel. I'm going to take the fuel filter off of it. It looks clean. It doesn't look like it's gummed up, but we're going to take a quick gander here and see what the deal is. Because of the way it was surging, like it was absolutely like just starving for gas. Something was going on inside, stopping it from pumping. Oh yeah, she's dirty on the other side of the... Well, actually, you know what I could do? I'm just gonna... Okay, this filter, because of the way the Argo sucks fuel, it sits like this and only half of it gets used. The top half of the filter is clean. Look at the top half. The bottom half now, well, it's the top now, but it's black. Actually, I think if I turn the filter like this, I could actually use the other side of the filter. It'll get me through the bind. Well, let's see if it works. Put the dirty side up where the airlock is anyways. Who knows? I'll try anything right now, but it certainly is dirty on the bottom side of the filter where the fuel was sitting, because the fuel filter was not full of fuel. It's only half full. I think it's because the motor just doesn't suck enough fuel. It's only a little, you know, I think it's like 650 or 750 cc motor. Glorified lawnmower motor, actually. Well, let's see if this works. Oh, wouldn't it be sweet if it did? It's definitely dirty side up now, and I know the other side's clean. Well guys, it seems to be working. The thing is, the fuel filter could be all plugged up with ethanol gas too. I gotta see if it's pumping gas. Oh yeah, big difference. It's shooting gas out now. It actually spit some out that went about 2 inches. Alright, so the fuel filter was plugged on one side, and because this thing draws so little fuel, it never fills the filter right up, so the top side of the filter was clean. So flipping it over solved the problem. Really, I should put a new filter on it, but I'm not driving back to town. You're not going to believe it. I thought I'd do a little bit, and this is as far as I made it. Right in the middle of the black flies. Oh, and there's lots of them. Same thing again, it just died. As soon as I take the choke off, she stops. Alright, I've had enough for tonight, guys. I'm frustrated here. As soon as I choke it, it runs. But I know it's getting more fuel now because when I turned it over, it was spitting fuel. So I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. It's got me baffled right now. I'm calling it a night. It's late, and I really should go and start my edit. I haven't gone in yet. Curiosity's killing this cat big time tonight. I took the fuel filter off and I wanted to see, you know, if there was any flow restriction. Absolutely none. So one side of it's dark, the other side's, you know, clean paper. It's working. There's flow. But I just took the fuel line off again, and there is no fuel pumping out of it at all. I've got no fuel. That's what's the problem here tonight. I don't know if the fuel pump is gunged up inside or what, but that's a job for tomorrow. Motor's red hot right now, but there's definitely no fuel. Absolutely, that's the problem. That's why it was lunging, and you know, it might be gunged up inside with you know, the ethanol crap. Totally possible, because everything else was. So tomorrow I'll take the fuel pump off, but there's definitely no fuel right now coming to the motor. That's why it stopped. Alright, well, I am officially done for tonight. Black flies have come into the garage. They're eating me alive. And I'm tired, and I'm not going to edit because it's already 8 o'clock. Oh, man, I don't believe this. Alright, now I know what's wrong. No fuel. I got to do the water chores. I almost forgot. Oh, look who's already in the pen here. Stripper and Disco. Okay, Disco. What's going on with you? You're not going to let me get near you, are you? I'm going to have to do a crazy chase to get you. Stripper. That's her home, underneath the hay pile, or hay dispenser. I got to catch her. Alright, Duck, I'm going to change the water here. Try not to splash me. Oh, is that slick? Oh, boys. I wonder how long it's going to take for the geese to figure that out. It does take a pretty good pull. I can't see the geese doing it that easy. That's slick. Oh, that plug, man. I can't believe I've gone 2.5 years without it. I sort of feel better that I found out what's wrong with the Argo. Sorta. Possibly, you know, the inside of the fuel pump is all gunged up from that yellow stuff that was in the carburetor. And when it's getting hot, it's getting gummy and it loses its pumping capacity. Or prime, or I don't know. I'll take tomorrow it's coming off. We're gonna figure this out. I gotta get it working. Because renting one for $250 for one day sucks. And I gotta get it done. I gotta get the swamp done so I can get on with other things here. There's lots of other things to do. What a beautiful night. It's a perfect black fly night. There's lots of them. I don't know if you can see them in the video here. They're flying all around my head. I'm going to have to spray bug spray on my hat. I don't like spraying it on me personally. Clothing I have no problem with, but on my skin, I'm just not a big fan of putting DEET on my body. Stripper. Oh no, the dog's coming close. Dougie, I almost forgot. I got the barn door open. One night last week, I left the barn door open all night. I came out in the morning and I was like, oh, I really screwed up. She's back in the corner. I'll leave her for now. Yeah, I came out and I was like walking around the building and I went, oh, the door's open all night. Thankfully nothing came by. Because, you know, like something could have got, like a coon could have gotten into the pen. I probably would have heard a whole bunch of freaking out ducks, but there would have been some death before I ran out here with the shotgun. Because from the bedroom window I can see everything that's going on inside the pen. So if there was a raccoon, he might get a couple ducks, hurt a couple ducks, but I'd be waking up pretty quick. Especially with Doug and his super nose. It seems that the dog can sleep through anything, but, you know, get a smell in the yard, look out. He can go from dead asleep to all of a sudden, bang, he wants to go through the screen door. Man, I change his water every single day. It's amazing, the dirt in their bills.
And don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends, and enjoy the show.